Epcot. We visited for the first time a few months ago. If you want to see all the rides and the things that we did back then, just check out the video in the card above. This time we're back for the Flower and Garden Festival, and we're gonna go around the world and try out a bunch of vegan foods and then ride some rides that we missed last time and give our impressions of them.
Stop playing games!
Games? I love games!
Oh, what a beautiful little boy!
Combined with sunlight, creating a diverse living system with a handful that make up our everyday diet.
We just did Living with the Land, and that was kind of weird.
I see where they were going with it, but it wasn't very well executed. I really liked the greenhouse area where they're growing all of their plants. I thought that was very intriguing and the best part of the whole ride. The only thing that we really hated was the fish farming area where they talk about fish farming and they're just crowded in these tanks, and that made me pretty sad. But
so it seems a little confused because it starts out with like a few different landscapes, like rainforest and desert and then farmland, and then that doesn't really have anything to do with the growing plants part. It's just kind of weird. It feels like it might have been different at one point and now it's this way. So, I don't know. But it was a, short wait. It was kind of fun. It's time to try out Journey into Imagination with Figment. We've heard not good things, but we will see.
Imagination! Side down, now you're talking. That's the best idea you've had all day.
What?
I don't know what just happened. I don't know. I really have no words. I got nothing.
My only word is what. That's my word.
It was so weird.
This is the grilled corn on the cob. It has some kind of garlic, vegan mayo, and some house-made tofu cheese.
The flavor's really good, but overall it's a little dry from the first couple bites that I took. But hopefully maybe I'll get more of the corn and stuff in it.
It's like off-season kind of bad corn. It's kind of bland with some almost like shake and bake breading or something. It's kind of, I don't like it. I give it a 4.
Oh, really? I was gonna say 2.
Dole Whip time. How's the Dole Whip?
So good. I love this.
They were reading off our order, and now we know that it's just called a full house when you order everything there. We got one of everything. We got the baby vegetables. We got the Impossible Korean short ribs. This is an Impossible sausage and kale soup. And then a chocolate cake.
This is the Korean short ribs with veggies. Oh, God.
Really like the barbecue Impossible.
Yeah.
It's really good. We're gonna figure out how we're gonna eat this bok choy here. This bok choy is the best part. I just took a big bite of it. It's awesome.
Save some for me.
See, it's filled with like a sauce. The soup is really good too. It's a little spicy, but pretty well balanced. Veggies are pretty good. And there's a red sauce here and some hummus. Pretty simple, but good flavors. So our favorite was definitely the Korean Impossible short ribs, right?
That was the best. The flavor and the texture is just so good. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, wow.
Like, I want to make that. Like, I want the recipe and I want to make that for dinner more often. That was like one of my favorite things I've ever had.
Awesome. I'm thinking 7 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
Everything else was maybe like middle of the road. I'd say the soup was maybe a 4 out of 10.
Yep.
Veggies were 2 out of 10.
Yeah.
3 out of 10.
Yep.
And we got this chocolate cake for dessert. Ice cream?
Melted a bit, but the flavor's really good. I have high expectations because chocolate cake and raspberry are two of my favorite things for dessert.
Good? The topping here is like a frosting. It's kind of tart. It's really good. The raspberries I don't think are doing a whole lot of flavor there. They're kind of
Just more garnish.
not very strong tasting raspberries. And the ice cream is pretty mild as well. Chocolate cake is not overly sweet, and everything works together pretty well. I'm gonna give the chocolate cake an 8 out of 10.
I think that's fair. I say 8 out of 10 is perfect for that.
We've already eaten some of the meals at Universal's Mardi Gras Festival, and what we've eaten here today is way better than what we had at Universal so far. So
Yeah, Universal needs to step it up.
just hitting up these food stands and having like vegan options is such a different feel than what we had last time we were here, where we really struggled to find anything vegan.
And the fact that it's like really good quality and like great flavors, like it's not like half baked, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they put a lot of thought into these meals, and that really makes me feel appreciated for coming here.
Pretty happy so far.
Absolutely.
Time to ride the Three Caballeros ride, the Gran Fiesta Tour.
Cuídense, pequeñitos. Gracias. Para su seguridad,
So the beginning of that ride was really pretty, and it went past like a volcano and pyramid, and then the Three Caballeros come out, and then it gets really weird and animated, and then it's like, it's a small world. It's a lot of things in one, and none of it works very well. Just take off the queso, and then we also got a poppy flower margarita.
It's really, really good. A lot of different interesting flavors in this.
And then this is the tostada. You just have to take off the queso. It looks pretty simple. Looks like something we would make. It's super warm, but the tostada is like really fresh and crunchy. The chorizo is nice and like tangy and a little spicy. The guac doesn't do a whole lot, but altogether it's like pretty middle of the road.
The guac by itself, I tried it, has like no flavor at all, so it doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, I think it's more, I think it said avocado mousse, so it's probably more just like a fat enhancer.
Yeah, it's good.
Time for another new one, Mission Space.
Attention, your X2 trainer. Follow the markings on the floor.
That was probably one of the most intense things I've ever experienced.
Definitely most intense Disney ride so far. It's a space simulator, so you spin around anyway, and it simulates like the G-forces of launching and stuff, and it's intense. The screens were a little wonky, like
Yeah.
the 3D effect, but the whole thing was very cool. I really liked it. I don't want to do it again right now.
I don't
but-
think I honestly don't know if I could handle going on that again. If that was like, I almost couldn't handle it.
It's good. That's how you know it's good.
Oh, don't record me. I'm falling apart now.
Next is the Avocado Toast.
The crust is sort of like hard to chew at first, but really good. I love avocado toast. This is like really fresh and flavorful.
Definitely has something like cinnamony almost. There's like a nutmeg or some kind of interesting flavor with it. It's not like a normal avocado toast flavor. It's really good.
5 out of 10. 4.5, 5 out of 10.
I give it a 5. It's really good though.
It's really fresh. I like it.
It's just not the best avocado toast
Yeah,
I've ever had.
yeah, not the best.
His belly full of meat, which came down upon the land of man.
We have pineapple with tahini here, but we've had that quite a bit lately, so we're gonna skip this one. From Germany, we got the potato pancakes and applesauce. They look really good.
It's weird, it just tastes like hash browns and applesauce.
It's about what it is, it looks like.
That's what it tastes like.
Seems like a drunk meal somebody might come up with.
Yeah.
I guess it's a real thing though.
I give it a 3 out of 10 because I don't know.
Yeah, that seems fair. This is the Coconut Tres Leches, and we're in like this place called the Isla Fresca, and it's like an Encanto themed little area. This is really, really good.
It is so moist and like sweet, and the coconut is perfect on top with the whipped cream. I want this like for my birthday. Write it down.
Okay. I definitely give this like an 8 out of 10. This is terrific.
Yep, I would say 8 out of 10 for sure.
This is our last of the vegan options here for the Flower and Garden Festival. And this is a good way to end it because it's a dessert and it's super tasty and one of the best things we've had all day.
We're really impressed. Good job, Disney.
Rabbit, Pooh, Tigger, Piglet, and Eeyore.
Hold that. We watched a presentation in Canada's area all about the different provinces of Canada, and basically it was like a tourism ad, but it was like really moving, and it was narrated by Catherine O'Hara and Eugene Levy, and it was really good.
Yeah, it was like weirdly emotional a little bit, so.
So now we're talking about traveling to Canada and how much we're looking forward to it now.
So the tourism ad worked.
Should be a real hoot and a half, yeah?
Elsa wants to give us all some fun. She's making everyone a snowy summer day.
While we were riding Frozen, both of our phones died.
I loved Frozen so much. I finally felt the Disney magic that I wanted to feel on that ride.
My favorite moment was when you go up into the mountain into Elsa's castle, and then you like hit like a dead end and then it switches you over, and then you go backwards and you go down the hill just as she starts singing Let It Go. It was really epic. Even though the ride is obviously aimed at children, the ride is not like dumbed down. They use the same ride system as the old ride that was there, Maelstrom. It's thrilling. Like, it was really exciting. I was really, really happy with it.
I was too. Yeah, I was tearing up at the end.
The only thing I didn't really like about Frozen was the way that Disney always insists on using this projection mapping for the faces to make them more expressive without making like really good animatronics. But when you're in a dark room and they've got a projected face, their faces just like light up in comparison with their bodies, and it looks really like eerie. It's not like a good look.
Their faces were like pale and their necks were like tan, so it looked really funky or something. Like it didn't match.
It's a lot cheaper than doing like really good animatronic faces, so that's what they went with. Yeah. But overall, it was an incredible ride.
It was really great.
We got really lucky at Epcot today. Like, all the waits were much shorter than we had had at any Disney park prior to today. We even had a walk-on for the Nemo ride, which was the first time that had happened. Like, the Frozen ride was supposed to take an hour, and it took maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah, the times were not accurate. So with the remaining time that we had in the park, we made it to Test Track. So now we've ridden everything at Epcot, which is really cool. which is what we set out to do. Test track was really, really cool. You get to design like the aerodynamics of the car and like battery operated vehicle or solar. We chose solar. It was a really fun process. We had a good time with it.
It was a good looking car too. It was like rose gold with some like solar panels on it, and it was a pretty sexy shape. It was cool.
The ride itself, I had such a blast on. I thought I wasn't expecting a ride like that.
The first probably 2/3 of the ride are a little confusing. Like you're driving in the dark and you might like all of a sudden accelerate and then hit like a kind of curve, and you're not really sure why you're doing what you're doing. Like we know that we're supposed to be testing the cars that we built, but like why are we suddenly doing this? We just watched the video of the old version, and they had kind of narrators going along, like the ones that were actually testing the cars, narrating what was happening, like, okay, let's give it 10% and hit this corner. In that video, it seemed like that would make more sense and you would know what was happening. Just before you go out on the main test track where you hit full speed, like 70 miles an hour, we almost hit.
Where you go outside of the show building and you're outside.
You're going right towards these doors, and you think you're going to hit them, and at the last second they just open really fast. And in the original version, that was set up to be a barrier test, like when the cars drive towards the wall and there's a test dummy in there. And we did not know that in this version.
It would have been cooler to know that that's what that was supposed to be. It didn't even have the target or anything.
Yeah, it was just doors that randomly opened like last minute.
Really, just a really good day at Epcot. I think the more we visit the Disney parks, the more we're diving a little bit deeper into it, the more my appreciation grows for it.
The food festival for sure at Epcot totally changed the way that I felt about Epcot before. It made it so much more fun. We got to see a lot of the things we didn't see last time, and that was really great. I feel like that might be one of my top favorite parks now. That might be my second favorite park after Animal Kingdom now. So
I agree.
I didn't expect that going into today. And now we're happily going to bed at our truck stop.